Traders, what's going on? Cleveland here with another Monday market breakdown. It is October 10th, and as you guys know, we've had some fairly radical movement in this market last week. Anytime I say radical, I think of Donald Trump. I don't know. I hate that guy. Anyway, guys, let's break down these charts and see what we got going on. As you know, let's start off with that Euro USD. Now, we had a very slow start to the week. We definitely didn't have any news out today because it was Columbus Day. But if you look at this Euro outside of the fundamentals, we'll get into that in a second. I'm going sell. I think there's a lot of long-term money that was invested here. If you guys look here, how this high is held down here. Okay, I think some of the money that's down here, and I think a little bit of extra new players, fundamental new players, are going to ease into the market on a sell. Okay, so that would mean that you would see this thing push down, definitely back down into those low 11s, down all the way into the mid 10s. All right, that's really where I see structure lining up. If I pull over and I show you guys a fib from high to low, you'll see that we're really maintaining a 38.2. So there's no reason why we can't get to that 50 down here at structure. Okay. Now, is that going to happen this week? Obviously, you see we've been in a nasty consolidation for the past 2 weeks on that euro. I mean, it may not happen. I mean, we're down here at the lows of that consolidation. So is this the week where it breaks? Potentially, we'll see. But I'm definitely wanting to sell that thing off. We just have to see how the fundamentals can align to push us to the downside. Okay. Now, if I move over into this Aussie USD, boom, just only strictly looking at the technical analysis. Again, guys, Aussie, we had some really nice runs in the Aussie earlier that's the past quarter. And now, guys, again, we've kind of just really, we've stayed in this zone here. It's a fairly large zone, but again, for the Aussie, it's large, but it's really only like a 200, 220 pip zone, right? So we're just going to be ranging in here. We've hit a low. We've come up into the high. We're back in the mids, never play the mids. So right now, again, guys, we're stuck in this channel. We really have to see what fundamentals can come out with that Aussie US dollar. My bias on this thing, intraday, I'm going to get some moves. I mean, I'm just going to be able to play because this Aussie's really, it's kind of ripping. I assume that we could push up higher actually on this Monday. I thought we could push higher off of this down move. I felt as if we could come back up in the structure. Didn't happen. I'm going to see how the overnight price action adds up. But overall, guys, when we're talking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, intra-week, again, maybe we could just consolidate and we might get a push back up into these levels. But other than that, I really don't have too much of a bias. We're sitting on a 50% retracement from that move from last week. Boom, boom, last month actually, because that's all the way back into the 13th. We flew down last week, and so now we're sitting back down on this 50% retracement, major structure. That's the middle of the zone. So, you know, anything can happen here. The bias really has to come from the fundamentals at this point. The technicals are too unreliable, okay? So for me, intraday, I can definitely see some price action playing to the upside here, but that's not, it's not going to work for you if you're swing trading. That's not enough pips. You need a lot more. You need a lot more to get some really good swing positions, some worthy good risk reward positions if you're swinging. Okay, so if I pull over to the GBP, a mess, an absolute mess. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I can say about it. We had some really Brexit-looking price action last week, and you know, we spilled over. I mean, you already know what's going on. GBP's gonna melt. There's a really funny article on Seeking Alpha. If you want to go read that. But a GBP, it's absolutely going to melt off. You know, so we're just going to have to see how price action adds up. No price action for days. Everyone's like, damn, my charts don't go back far enough to see where the next levels are. So really the only thing you guys can do is use maybe Fibonacci extensions, Fibonacci inversions, to kind of gauge where price action could go, right? So, I mean, say you're going from here to here. We popped off at the 50. Well, maybe if we go from here to here, you guys will be able to see that, oh, shit, look, notice that we've already came down to the 161. So if you use other extensions like the 2161, and there's a 4 something as well, you could potentially have some kind of targets. But as of right now, the only thing you can use is structure itself. Sorry, the chart just went crazy. Okay, so let me pull over. Let me show you guys what I mean by that. All we can use is structure to the downside. To the downside. Okay, so really the only thing we got so far is this wick to kind of gauge where price action can go. So I'm going to draw up a fib for you, the most relevant fib we have right now for this to kind of let you see how the where the demand is, how much money's been pushed out, right? So if you draw from, let's see, if I'm going from low to high, if you draw from the high to the low, you'll see we retrace to the 38.2, okay? We retrace to that 38.2, and now it kind of looks as if the momentum for this thing isn't going to be able to break any higher than that 38.2, guys. So really, to be honest, the trade was to potentially get in up here at these highs. Obviously, I mean, that would have been nice. But this is going to give you the ability to actually gauge where you can go. And again, I want to break out of the structure. That's what I'm looking at. I would love to break out of the structure. We might ping around in this thing a little bit. But if I can break out of the structure, then you can really start getting some short opportunities. Okay, I'm not saying the break of this is the short opportunity. I want to see maybe a little bit more price action adding up, but this is definitely where you want to be in terms of the recency, the soonness that you want to have in terms of getting this position. Don't start shorting down here. You can start seeing some pullbacks. Okay, so traders, that's about it. Sorry for the lengthy Monday market breakdown. It's just, there's a lot of disillusion in the charts right now. If you guys have any questions, let us know here over at Motive FX. But other than that, guys, your profit is my motive. I will talk to you guys soon.